And a very pleasant good morning, everyone. Welcome in here. Wlij, AM 1580, 935 here on the, first Tuesday of the month, December the 4th, 2012. Where has the year gone? And, of course, it's gotten crazy. Right here at Christmas time, of course. But being the first Tuesday of the month means that we have Rick Gann, Defensive Options Strategies Training, coming in this morning. He has got a very special show lined up for you this morning with a special guest. And Rick, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Rusty.
Let me turn that around just a little bit. Hope you're doing well.
Doing great. Having a great time, getting ready for Christmas and all, making sure they got all the presents bought and ammunition tucked away up underneath the Christmas tree.
Was that what was in that box that you brought in?
Oh, most definitely. You know how that goes.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. But it says do not open until day after Christmas.
Do not open the day after Christmas. That way we can go have fun. Because,
I understand.
If the wives find out we're shooting on Christmas Day, there's probably going to be some more fireworks.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Of course, you just had a class last week.
Had a class this past weekend. Really good turnout because of the current political climate and all. A lot of people are deciding that they want to get their gun permits now. It's still, the turnaround on it's pretty good with the state. On average, about 28 to probably about 35 days from the time they get all the paperwork in. So people are coming out. People that have never considered it before are saying, hey, I think I want to get mine now before they do anything and change it to where I'm having a harder time getting it, things of that nature. So.
Will they do that?
Well, they're looking at some changes after the first of the year. I spoke with the state, and everything's not going to change as of January 1, but what they are doing is they're going to change some things as of April the 1st. They're looking at some online type registrations and all. After the first of the year, there's a few schools that are out there right now, some of the larger schools in the more metropolitan areas, that are doing a testing of this system. They have not got it to the point that they're ready to go with it yet, so it will be on over into the year before they actually consider putting a full run on the program.
Of course, now is a great time to think about those Christmas gifts. You kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning there, but what a better gift to give somebody than the opportunity to get their handgun permit. And, of course, they can get gift certificates from you.
You can get gift certificates from us for upcoming classes. If somebody's wanting to do that, we got some nice, basically they're wooden checks. They're very appropriate for a gift. In addition to that, it's the time of year to buy guns, buy ammunition, get permits, all those kind of things. I mean, I know the guys love them, but even the ladies like them. There's purses out there. There's all kinds of things, not just necessarily stuff that we do at Defensive Options, but you can go to Crosstouch Pawn here in town, order guns. Rick up there, Rick and Randy are super nice guys to deal with. Don's Pawn on Deary Street. If you want to get a handgun or a rifle or something, they'll do special orders if they don't have it in stock. Bill over at Pawnbrokers on Depot Street. These are three places that you can get all the tools that you need. Now, remember, you don't have to have a gun to come to the handgun carry class. Now, if you don't have one, you haven't bought one yet, come on and to the class. I've got some guns that I allow people to use. I don't rent guns, but I do have guns that I let people use. And we talk about their choices of guns. Here, we don't push calibers. We don't push makes and models. We do push the fact that you buy a good quality firearm that fits your hand and is going to be geared to you personally.
Speaking of classes, I just want to throw out the teaser here on this. Last month, I had the opportunity to go through one of these advanced classes, folks, that Rick is putting on. I was able to go through this class. It's an all-day class, and we're going to have a show coming up about that coming up next month. We're going to talk about it. The only criteria that you must meet, the only prerequisite is you have to be a licensed handgun carry permit holder.
Absolutely.
You have to be a legal, valid holder of a Tennessee handgun carry permit to take this class. But, folks, I'm going to tell you what, you're in for a show next month when we talk about this, when we talk about some of the things that Rick puts you through in this course.
And understand, you don't have to have got your permit from us. That's the prerequisite for the handgun carry permit is to ensure that we're not teaching people that have not had a good criminal background check run against them advanced tactics with the use of firearms. So our prerequisite there is a good quality firearm, 250 rounds of ammunition, and the aspect of having that handgun carry permit as of the day of the class.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything that goes along with it coming up next month. I just want to throw that out there. That will not fall on the regular day of Rick's class or Rick's show. It will be on a different date, but we will be promoting that and telling you about when that will take place. Now, that's in January. Special event coming up in February, and you've got a special guest here today to talk about this event.
Absolutely. As I've said many times before, with Defensive Options, we're a family, especially the emergency services groups around this community, EMS, the EMA here in the county, the Sheriff's Department, some of the police department members and all. We're all a big family. The fire department is one of my, I guess my chosen per se, because they are the people that put their lives on the line each and every day, all the way around the clock. Our county fire department, we have a good city fire department, paid department, but our county fire department are all volunteers. Okay, they're out there putting their lives on the lines for your homes, for your property, for your lives. So they're out 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and all. So Mr. Barber has been with the fire department for many, many years. He's here to talk about an event that they've got coming up that is geared specifically for our community, for our kids, because we believe that the way to change the way the world is to start with our children and teach our children, whether it be through the TWRA Hunter Safety, where we teach them the safety aspects of firearms and all, but we teach them young, we keep an eye on them, and we guide them. We're supposed to be their mentors. So, Mr. Barber, I believe everybody in the county knows you as Duck, but other than that, you got it.
Good morning.
Morning, glad to be here. Appreciate your time for letting us come in, and Rick, you sharing this show with me, talking about our event.
Of course, and it's just like Rick said. I can't say Jason.
I don't want you to.
Duck is who I've known him as for the whole length of time that I've known him. But Duck had you in a couple of months ago, kind of laying the groundwork, laying the footing, so to speak, about this huge building that you guys are building, and that's this big event coming up in February. Kind of refresh some folks' memory about what we're talking about.
Well, in a nutshell, I presented this idea to our emergency services back in June. It's kind of got a part one, part two. The first part is, as far as our emergency services doing a public relations, we've all kind of laxed as far as reaching out to our community and doing something special and giving them the opportunity to come in at a central location and see the equipment, not only see the equipment, but see demonstrations of it and such as that. So we're actually on February the 23rd, which will be a Saturday from like 9 to 2. We're actually holding a unified public relations program within the Calsonic Arena. It'll be indoors, so it doesn't matter if it's raining or cold weather. We'll be able to do stuff as that, and we want people to come out. And a lot of people don't know what we have to offer. Our county does have some of the most advanced in equipment and such as that, and a lot of people don't get to see this until it's an actual emergency. And at that point in time, it's almost too late, and they don't care what we're using as long as we're there to meet their needs. But this gives you the opportunity to come out and see the things and meet your emergency personnel such as that. So we're really excited about this opportunity, and the first time ever this is being done in our county in this type of format.
You know, and it's a hands-on, like you said. There's going to be demonstrations, kind of showing some of the equipment and the way things work as far as our emergency equipment goes. I guess, and I've seen a lot of postings that you've placed on Facebook, and we're really gearing this towards a lot of our kids, our younger generation, to come out and see this. Of course, you know, this is a great way. Not only is it a great public relations tool, but it's also a great way to drive interest for possibly getting new members in, getting new blood into our fire departments, our police departments, our sheriff departments, our ambulatory services, all of that. Great way as a recruiting tool as well.
Exactly. Yeah, we've got about 8 volunteer departments out in the county. Speaking on the fire department aspect, and we're actually speaking as far as Unionville, we're blessed with as far as having community school right there close by, and as Bell Buckle and Wartrace have community close by as far as recruiting young people to show interest. But our other departments, they need people as well. So this will give them an opportunity to possibly recruit some of the younger ones or even older adults that want to be involved in something like this.
Now, of course, that's on February the 23rd, 9 to 2, Calsonic Arena. So like you say, doesn't matter if it's snowing outside, if it's sleeting, or even if it's a beautiful day. It's going to be great weather indoors at Calsonic Arena. But now, there's another part to all this.
Exactly. A part two to this is something that we feel like is really going to set our county and our town apart from any other. The part two of this, I approached our emergency services stepping up and doing something unknown or undone, or should I say, not been done by any other emergency services. We're actually that night. Gates will open, our doors are open at 5 o'clock. We're actually hosting a free concert for all the students in Bedford County. When I say all students, it doesn't matter if they're homeschooled with Victory Baptist, the school out there, Webb School. It doesn't matter if you're within our school in our county. We want you to come out free of charge. Now, with that said, although it is free to our students, we welcome everyone. This will be about a 3-hour concert, and if you're not a student, if you're a parent or someone coming out of county, we're looking at just a $5 admission for a premier 3-hour concert. When I say premier, we figure that this is going to be something that can not only be entertaining, but life-changing as well.
Of course, $5, and I'm going to even call it just a donation. A $5 donation will get people, adults or folks from out of town that want to come to this. And you talk about it being a premier concert and a premier show. Kind of talk about the people that you've got coming, because you've got some big name artists coming in here.
Yeah, it's actually we're using Christian-based rock and pop type music. Which I say this cautiously because I am a Christian, but we're not promoting our event as a said spiritual event. We just this music is loud, it's uplifting, it's clean, it's something positive. And not only the music, all of our groups have a message to deliver to our kids and even adults, because we know as well as anyone else there are many struggles out there in kids' lives. It doesn't matter if it's family issues such as divorce or economic issues within their family, but also within the school. You deal with drug abuse and alcoholism, bullying, just so many things out there. And these groups have a story to share how they got through this event. That's why we've named this event ROK, R-O-K, which stands for Rewarding Our Kids. And we just want people to know, outside of the emergency services, even though we're there for emergencies, we're also public servants. So within that scope, we're there to serve you whatever capacity it needs. And we feel like that this is going to be an opportunity to not only work to save lives, we can also try to change a few and let people know that we care and we're there for them, whether it's an emergency or not.
Ducky, if you would kind of, go through who some of the groups are that you've got coming in.
One of our groups, and we feel like we've got a good blend of music. One of our groups is called Burning Yesterday. They, to be honest with you, they are local. When I say local, they live in the Chapel Hill, Columbia, Lewisburg area. This event is really shaping up to be a lot more than what I anticipated, because that particular group in February will be releasing their new album, and they have announced that our event will be the debut of that album. It will not be released to the public until that point. Oh, wow. So we're excited about that. They're actually going to bring some special effects into their show. There is even some discussion about them filming their first ever music video at our event. That's still kind of on the books. That's not set in stone yet, but their album release is. And they're a hard-hitting rock. I mean, they're loud, and that's what it is. Another group that we've got coming, an all-girl group. They're late teens, early 20s, called Unity. If anybody wanted to look that up via the internet, if you'll Google Unity CPAC, which stands for Christian Performing Arts Center, they do a lot of outreach stuff to the kids in Texas. That's actually where they're from, Keller, near Fort Worth, Texas. They're kind of our bubblegum, if you'd like to say, type music pop. They sing, they dance. A little extra bonus that I told Rusty earlier, that these girls have actually agreed to come in on a Tuesday, and we're going to do some special appearances at Cascade, Liberty, and community schools. So that's an extra bonus. They do some speaking about bullying. Actually, one of the girls suffered through bullying in her years in high school, so she wants to share her story since that's a big topic now. So that's, like I said, this is really blowing up to be a lot bigger than we ever anticipated starting out. And then our headlining group is the group Seventh Day Slumber. They are an award-winning group, well known within the Christian rock genre, and we're really excited to have them come out, and they share a lot of different stories. And they're a mid-range music, what I call mid-range, meaning they've got a little bit of everything.
Now, of course, the demonstration, the hands-on part of it, 9 till 2. Then what time will the gates of the door, or the doors open for the night?
Doors are open at 5 for the show, and we will start the show right around 6, and it'll be 6 to 9. We didn't want to carry it too late because we want all ages to come, and if it's younger ages, and we're talking even K through 5, it doesn't matter to us. We want everybody to come be a part of this, and so we didn't want to make it too late. But these groups have, they do like to stay after the show, sign autographs, meet and greet. They're all personable artists, so they want to be with the public because the public makes them what they are today.
Duck, it seems like the cooperation of the community has been huge for this event. I kind of follow along with everything that gets placed on Facebook. What is it about this event that you think makes it such a huge draw for the community? I mean, why has everybody jumped on board?
Well, I feel like it's just, I've had many businesses, and just to clarify, even though the emergency services are sponsoring this, there is 0 tax dollars going into this event. Everything that we're doing is donation based. I've made many calls. We've had many thousands of dollars that's donated to this, and when I tell them the aspect of we need to do something for our kids, there's nothing around here for kids to do that's a kid-specific event. School events, yes, if you're involved in school's extracurricular activities, but if the ones that are not involved, such as drama, sports, or whatever, they don't have anything to do. So we wanted to create an event that would be open, specific to kids. The kids will be the ones that make or break this. So I've told many kids that, we can fund it, we can get the groups in here and do all that, but to be blunt, if we don't put our butts in the seats, this is not gonna succeed. And we want to make this succeed. We want this to continue to grow, get bigger, and even become an annual event. And the businesses, when I tell them our goal and what we're doing, I've heard more than once they say specifically, we need this. So it's all about doing something for our kids.
You talk about bullying, and you talk about Unity is going to be able to make some school visits, some school appearances to talk about bullying and some of the things that our kids face today. From what I've seen, from all indications, Doug, this is stuff that goes on all over the country.
Exactly. The groups that I spoke to, their managements, when I brought this idea to them, they were just extremely thrilled about it, because typically their music is church-based type events, meaning whether it's a revival or some type of Christian type event. So for us to open this up for them to come in and perform to people without having it promoted as a spiritual event, because we just want to make this, it doesn't matter to us if you're a Christian or not. We want to come and put something positive in their mind. They may leave as a Christian, even though they came not being a Christian. If they do, fine. If they don't, that's fine. But if we can change their lives and put something positive in it outside the scope of being religious, just that's the thing to do now, because there's just so much negativity. I spoke with a government official just the other day in our area, and I finally asked him, I says, what have you seen come out lately that's positive in our area? Whether it be the news media, television, newspaper, or whatever, what have you seen in a good long while? And he simply said nothing. So it's time to do something positive in our area, set this town on fire, do something unique, get outside the scope of doing our typical norm. And that's what it's going to take, is people getting out of the norm, thinking outside the box, and doing something that could even branch out to other counties. We're getting some good networking, and I use that term a lot, through other counties. I've got some contacts in Marshall, Moore, actually working on coffee now. So this is really blowing up, man. We really feel like that. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when we open the doors and see thousands and thousands of kids and young adults and whoever come into this thing. I think it's going to open a lot of eyes and not. Maybe disappointed, maybe not 5 people, but it ain't going to be because of the lack of trying.
One thing too and Rick, I throw this out too, because one thing that I look at, especially with like the part one, as Duck calls it, from 9 to 2, where demonstrations will be there, emergency services will be there, law enforcement will be there. So many times, a lot of our kids, the only time they see these vehicles, or the only time they see a fireman or an EMT or a police officer or a deputy, is in a bad situation, a home situation or a wreck or a fire. To give kids the opportunity to be able to come and see all this firsthand on good terms can be nothing but positive.
Nothing but positive. And one of the things we ask for people to do is simply this. Talk to the kids. We talk to you at Defensive Options about talking to the kids about guns and all, but talk to your children. Talk to the kids. Talk to them about the law enforcement. One of the things we see is people saying, hey, if you don't act right, we're going to have that police officer or that sheriff's deputy arrest you. That infuriates most officers that I know. Because at that point, that child is not going to go to an officer when they need help, okay? They need to understand that the law enforcement agencies, that the fire departments and all, are people out there just like them, just like their families, that are out there doing jobs to make our community safer.
And, of course, this will give you that opportunity coming up on February 23rd at the Calisonic Arena. It's 9 to 2 is part one, where all the emergency services and law enforcement and all of our emergency personnel will be set up inside the Calisonic Arena. Again, that's from 9 to 2. Is that free? Is that open to the public?
That is free. It's open to the public.
Okay, so there's no charge for any of that from 9 to 2. And then, of course, at 5 o'clock that afternoon, they will reopen the doors to the Calisonic Arena. And from 6 to 9, it's the Rewarding Our Kids event, festival, however you want to put it. Huge concert night with Burning Yesterday, Unity, and Seventh Day Slumber. And, of course, that is free to all Bedford County students. If you're not a student, if you're an adult or just out of high school, then it's $5 a person. So very, very reasonable. I mean, you can take a family of 4 that has 2 kids that are in school. It's going to cost them $10 for 3.5-4 hours of fun that night at the Calisonic Arena. So that's coming up. Keep that in mind. Right now, real quick, let me jump in, if I can, take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and talk some more with Rick Gann, Duck Barber. We'll be right back. More defensive options strategist training coming up right after this.
Have you been thinking recently about getting your handgun permit? The right to carry a handgun on your person and be legal? Rick Gann with Defensive Options and Strategies Training can help you do just that. Rick offers the state-certified course that will enable you to get your handgun permit. Classes are being held in the Shelbyville area now, so you don't even have to leave town to take your class and get certified to carry a firearm. Rick not only teaches classes for handgun permits, but can also help you with handgun safety and will explain the legal issues involving handguns in the state of Tennessee. So get certified today and get your handgun permit by calling Rick Gann with Defensive Options and Strategies Training. Phone 931-703-3130. Be legal and get certified with the state and get your handgun permit today. Call Rick Gann, 931-703-3130. Defensive Options and Strategies Training.
Hey, welcome back in Defensive Options Strategies Training. If you're just tuning in this morning, we're, of course, joined, as always, Mr. Rick Gann, and Rick has brought in Duck Barber in here today to talk about the Rewarding Our Kids show coming up. It's actually a whole day coming up February 23rd. We've been touching base. And I guess, Duck, for folks that may have just tuned in or missed out on some of the things we've talked about, what about where can they get more information? I've talked about it. There's a Facebook page. Kind of help me out on that. And then a contact name and a number, or who they can call if they want to make a donation, or if they want to sponsor, or just where can folks go for more information?
Well, if you more or less, I guess I'm the one spearheading this, and my number's listed in the book. So if anybody wants to contact me via Facebook, if you find me on Facebook, if you have a profile or such as that, be sure to look me up, and I'll be more than glad to add you. And I give pretty frequent updates, almost too frequent by somebody's standards, because I think I post a little bit of everything. But I'm really excited about this. Things that we need to make this go naturally is money. Like I said, this is all based off of donations. Our businesses and even individuals have been very generous toward us, and we're getting comfortable as far as our dollar amount, but we always could use more to make this a more comfortable setting. And then, simply just the success of this event is going to be based off attendance. So for anybody that has a civic group, PTO, Lions Club, whatever groups that meet on a regular basis, I would love to come out and speak with you and share this, because like I said before, the word networking is going to go a long ways, and there's no reason the people that we've got in our communities that the word can't spread on this. In fact, we're banking on it. So rather than spending thousands of dollars on advertisements and newspaper articles and we do have a bunch of flyers that Jostens has donated for us, but other than that, we want to take the money and put in the show and make this a bang out show and really do something amazing for our area. So that's the main thing. You can call the Bedford County Fire Department. If they don't know the answer to whatever your question is, they can put you in touch with me, and I'll be glad to speak with you on it, because I've dedicated many hours for the last 7 months, because I feel strongly on this here, and I know we have some naysayers. I know there's a lot of doubts and such as that in this event, but I'm here to prove them wrong. And I know that everybody in our community that wants to back this and that support is growing, we can definitely prove them wrong. Just to give you an idea, some ask me how many people we would have come. Yes, I may set my goals high, but there's over 8,000 students in our school system. If we have half of them come, there's 4,000 right there. And I look for another 1,000 to accompany that. So I'm not saying that 5,000 people are not out of the question here, and maybe even more. So we're setting our goals high, and it's going to take everybody to help us make this work. It's a joint venture, not only with our emergency services, but with our communities and all kinds of groups. So you guys can make it happen or not. So there you go.
Duck, you've done a great job. I know it's taken a lot of people on board to get this rolling and to get the cooperation. And, of course, Duck calls it networking in the world of law enforcement. I think he called it mutual aid. So anyway, but if you need more information, you can always hit up the Facebook page. And how you listed as Jason Barber on Facebook?
Jason Barber, yes.
Jason Barber on Facebook. You can find him and become friends with him, and you'll get all the information about the show and any information out there that you need. Of course, like Duck said, you can always call the Bedford County Fire Department, and they will take care of getting your questions answered. One question, Rick, that has been brought up, I had several people asking about it. I think you may have even had some. Is that, you had a class to start the month. What about for those maybe that want to get one in before the end of the year?
Well, we've had several people ask because they couldn't make this past weekend's class, and like I said, we had a really good class, a large class. But we're looking at either possibly the 14th and 15th, or just the 15th. So right now, what I'm trying to hear from people is whether you want an all-day class on the 15th, being a one-day class, or if we need another the night of the 14th, morning of the 15th class. So if the people out there, if you're wanting it, we're going to provide it. If you're not wanting it before Christmas, we'll be starting back up at the beginning of the new year, going full blast again with some advanced training along with our monthly handgun carry permit classes. So again, it's targeted to the people here in Bedford County. If according to what you want, you let us know, and that's what we're going to be trying to supply to you. I'm going to leave you this week with a thank you to all of the people that have supported myself and Defensive Options this year, WLIJ, all the listeners and all out there. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. I hope Rusty gets that new AR that he's been trying to talk his wife out of. But I hope everybody's getting the things that they want this Christmas. I hope everybody remembers the reason for Christmas also. Okay, it's not just an economic holiday. It is about the birth of Christ.
Very good, Rick. I appreciate it. Thank you for another wonderful year. Folks, if you want that class, if you want to talk to Rick about the class, give him a call, 703-3130. That's the number to call to get in contact with Defensive Options and Strategies Training. Let them know if a class next week would be suitable to have. So keep that in mind. But you need to let Rick know. Don't forget as well about the show coming up in January, where we will sit down and talk about the advanced class
And if somebody wants to ask any questions, they can also look me up on Facebook at Rick Gann. I'm out there, so look me up, shoot me a question, whatever. You shoot me a membership, I'll accept you as a friend. And you can ask any questions through Facebook. We're working on a defensive options Facebook right now. We've got several pictures and all. Going to place some pictures on there from our previous classes and all. So we're working on getting that up and going. I believe Mr. Rusty Reed's going to be one of the premier people on our Facebook there on his day of shooting and all. So we had a good time, and I look forward to it.
I think I kind of surprised you as well, so on my shooting, didn't I?
Did some awesome shooting.
There you go. So, folks, you can find out more about it when we have our special show next month. We'll tell you more about it. Don't forget February 23rd. It is Rewarding Our Kids. It is a special day at the Calisonic Arena, 9 to 2, part 1, then 5 to 9, part 2. Make your plans. If you need more information, hit Jason Barber up, Duck Barber up on Facebook. Call the Bedford County Fire Department. Again, let Rick know about the class for next week, folks. Not enough participation means no class, and if you want to have that class, he needs to know about it. 703-3130. Rick, I want to thank you for another great year here with the partnership between Wlij and Defensive Options, and I appreciate it very, very much. And from the whole Jack's Radio family to you and your family, a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Duck Barber, to you as well. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Rusty. Merry Christmas to you.
We still say Merry Christmas around these parts.
Yes, sir, we do.
So with that being said, folks, we'll do it again next month. Until then, for Duck Barber, Rick Gann, and T-Bird, I'm Rusty Reed. Thanks for listening.
Making believe.